Do you know someone who is struggling with anxiety or depression? Do you want to be supportive and help them, but you don't know what to say to them? In this video, you learn what to say and what not to say to someone struggling with anxiety or depression. You learn how to encourage them and how to make them feel really heard. Hi, I'm Katja. I'm a psychologist and psychotherapist from Slovenia, and I'm here to help you skyrocket your self-esteem. Make sure you subscribe. Depression is one of the most common mental disorders in the United States. 7.1% of all US adults had at least one major depressive episode. Anxiety is even more common. Around 19% of the US adult population is affected in any given year. So, chances are you know someone who is struggling with either anxiety or depression, or perhaps both. You may know many people who struggle with it. So, how can you help someone who is struggling with anxiety or depression? Don't say, just stop thinking about it. It doesn't work that way. Trying to not think about something can even backfire. The more you try to not think about it, the more you end up thinking about it. The more you fight it, the anxious you become. Let me explain. Close your eyes for a few seconds, and whatever you do, do not imagine a yellow zebra with red stripes. So do not imagine a yellow zebra with red stripes. Did an image pop into your head? Was it a yellow zebra with red stripes? Whenever you try to not think about something, that image pops into your head. So telling your friend to not worry about something, to not think about something, doesn't work. Here's what you can say instead. I know these kind of things make you feel anxious. If you want to talk about it or about your feelings, I'm here for you. Next, don't try to solve their problem and don't offer advice. Don't say things like, you should stop drinking coffee. You should meditate. You should start a gratitude journal. There are two reasons why you shouldn't offer advice to someone struggling with anxiety or depression. There's a lot of false and even dangerous advice on the internet. So unless you've been trained to treat people with anxiety or depression, or you have anxiety or depression yourself, it's best to steer clear of giving advice. You might do more damage even though you mean well. The second reason why it's best to not give advice is the fact that if you immediately start giving advice, you actually stop listening to the other person. This is something a lot of people don't get. Did you ever have an experience where you started telling someone about your problem, and before you could even fully explain what the problem is, the other person jumped in and started offering you advice? If you did, then chances are you felt like the other person didn't even understand what the problem really is. They didn't give you a chance to explain it, they stopped listening to you, and they didn't give you the space to explore how you really feel about the problem. Because they failed to listen, chances are you didn't take their advice. You may have even become frustrated with them and felt worse than before. We need to first feel heard before we can jump to solving the problem. So listen to the other person. Which brings us to the next point. Don't say to someone struggling with anxiety things like, just calm down and relax. Just cheer up. Stop being so negative all the time. Unfortunately, we don't have an on and off button we could press to just cheer up or to relax. If it was that simple, then there would probably be no need for therapy. We will just press the button and feel happy. By saying to just calm down, to just look on the bright side, or to just stop being so negative all the time, the other person might start feeling bad for feeling the way they do. They might start feeling shame on top of their anxiety or depression. They might start believing that there is something wrong with them for not being able to start feeling better on command. So what can you say instead? First, validate their feelings. Let them know that you're really listening to them and that you're trying to understand how they feel. Give them the attention they deserve. Put down your phone, make eye contact, and really listen to them. Then say something like, this must be hard. I imagine you feel hurt by the way your partner spoke to you. So you're frustrated, your boss moved the deadline again, huh? Acknowledge their feelings without judging, without immediately giving advice or searching for a solution. You can also say something like, I'm listening, I'm here for you. What can I do to help? Want to take our mind off things? We can go for a walk in the park or grab a cup of tea. Also, don't say, it's all in your head. Anxiety and depression are mental disorders. They're medical conditions. People don't just make them up. You wouldn't say to someone who broke their leg that it's all in their head. When you say it's all in someone's head, the other person can start feeling guilty for feeling the way they do. They start experiencing shame. They may get the feeling that they're just making it up. They feel blamed for their feelings and attacked for feeling like they do. Also, anxiety and depression are not just in someone's head. They're experienced in their body as well. There are many physical symptoms of anxiety and depression, and they aren't something a person just chooses to have. Both are medical conditions that deserve attention and treatment. Another thing to not say to someone struggling with anxiety or depression is something like, I know, right? I was so depressed when they canceled my favorite TV show. Or, I'm anxious too, it's been a tough week. By saying things like that, you start minimalizing their feelings and their experiences. Being clinically depressed is not the same as having a bad day or feeling sad. For more on that, watch this video. So instead, validate their feelings. A question I get asked a lot is also, how can I suggest therapy or medication to a friend or a family member? First, make sure you and the other person are in a safe environment where there'll be no interruptions. Then talk to them in a kind tone. Say something like, I've noticed you've been anxious and depressed a lot lately, and I'm concerned. I want to help you, but I don't know how. Perhaps you can talk to someone who is an expert on that and can help you. Also, remind them that anxiety and depression are both very treatable, and they don't have to fight it alone. So here it is, what to say to someone who is experiencing anxiety or depression. Bottom line is this: be kind and give them the space to express how they feel. Validate their feelings and let them know you're there for them. Now, I would love to hear about your experiences. What are some of the things you hate to hear when you're feeling low or when you're anxious or depressed? Share with us in the comments below. For more videos on how to manage your emotions, how to create great relationships, and how to skyrocket your self-esteem, make sure you subscribe. I post a new video every Wednesday. See you soon.